Hello everyone and welcome to my pregnancy vlog. So today I am 7 weeks pregnant with baby number 2. So I'm just gonna update you on what happened last week and also give you a bit of background information because I felt last week's video, my first video, was a bit like not organized and I didn't give you enough information. I missed out on a lot of things. So I'm going to talk to you about how we conceived, first of all. Secondly, how the counting system works in the UK. Secondly, give you an update on my spotting. And lastly, just tell you what happened during my first midwife appointment. So let's start with the conception part. I don't know if you've seen my preconception video. If you haven't, please check this link here. It kind of, with my husband, we kind of prepared ourselves for this pregnancy, kind of detoxified, etc., to kind of welcome the baby in our body and our mind. So we were planning this pregnancy, obviously. So we were just like, we tried actually in the month of May, and I really wanted a girl because we have a 2-year-old son and it's wonderful, but I wanted the other gender. So I've been just thinking, like, surely there is something that I can try. So I just googled that and found a method called the Shettles method, which is based on timings basically. It says that there are 2 types of sperm. The male sperm is very fast but dies very quickly, and the female sperm is slower but survives for a longer time. So if you want a girl, this theory says that you need to try few days before you ovulate. So by the time the egg is released, the male sperm would have died off and then only the female sperm has survived. And if you want a boy, then you need to try exactly during ovulation time. So the fastest will win the game basically, so the male sperm will fertilize the egg. So it kind of made sense, and I thought we lose nothing in trying this method. So literally we tried 4 days before ovulation, and I was tracking my cycle with an application called Natural Cycles, which is really good, both if you want to use it as a contraceptive tool or even if you want to get pregnant. It comes with a thermometer and it tells you your fertile days, and you can also do an ovulation test to track your fertile window. So anyway, so I was using that Natural Cycles app with a thermometer every morning. Basically you check your temperature every morning and put it on your application before you actually get up from bed, and then it will tell you, okay, it's a fertile day. So basically we calculated what was my ovulation time. Basically the app told me this is going to be the ovulation time, and I thought we'll try it 4 days before just to be sure that the female sperm will only survive, and if it doesn't work we'll try the next month and we'll reduce it by 1 day. So we'll do 3 days before ovulation to have more chances to get pregnant. So anyway, for us it worked the first month, and we only tried it once during the fertile window because Ayurveda also suggests that you need to kind of not try for it, and then during the fertile window try it for once and then wait again for the next fertile window. So we just tried once and then it worked. Oh yeah, the other thing Ayurveda also says is that if you try it on an odd day, you have more chances to have a girl, and it kind of so we did that. It was an odd day, I can't remember the exact date. Anyway, so this is our conception story. We'll find out at 20 weeks whether this has worked, because there is a scan, a gender scan, and also anomaly scan. It'll tell you whether baby's alright, growing properly, whether it has all the members like arms, legs, heart, kidneys, etc. So it will also give you an idea of the gender if you want to know, of course. So I can't wait to see if this has worked, but I thought I would share this with you because it's always useful to have that kind of tip, especially if it works. I was doing pregnancy tests like after perhaps 2 weeks, no, perhaps a week or 10 days, and just before I missed my periods, few days before, I did a test and it came out positive. So I was like, so happy about that. So that's how I knew. And then I waited a few days before telling my husband. So I bought a t-shirt for my son, which said, I am going to be a big brother, with like a design for a brother and a little baby holding hands. I can leave the link in the description box below because I bought it from Amazon, so it was really cute. And one day, so the next or 2 days after I knew, Ayansh was wearing that, and then my husband came back from work and he saw him wearing that, and I don't think he looked at the t-shirt like carefully. So I said, oh, have a look at what he's wearing, it's all new. And then he just like looked at it and he just looked at me and then said, really? I said, yeah. So that was an exciting moment. It was in the evening, and then we just kind of, spent time discussing about it. Obviously we knew what we were doing, so it wasn't that much of a surprise, but it's still, it's still happy news. Now the counting system in UK, basically your first day of your pregnancy is the first day of your last periods, if that makes sense. So when you miss your periods, you're already 4 weeks pregnant, even though you've only conceived in the last 2 weeks, if that makes sense. And then full term is around 37 weeks, and then the whole pregnancy is counted as 40 weeks. That works out like 10 months, but I don't know, usually it's 9 months, but anyway, so it's 10 months, 40 weeks. So you can go up to 41, 42 weeks if you don't have any medical problems. Otherwise they'll just induce you at around 40 weeks. So yeah, that's it for the counting system. Now the good news of the week is that my spotting has gone, which is such a relief, honestly, because bleeding and spotting during pregnancy is freaking me out. It's like you think of the worst when it comes to it, when you see blood and you're not supposed to be bleeding. So there is obviously implantation bleeding, which happens during your missed periods, but mine has lasted like 10 days and it was just worrying me too much. So I have a scan next week, so they'll let me know if everything's okay. But in my 6-week scan, they said that it was just some old blood. So yeah, but I've tried a few natural remedies to see if that works. Basically in Ayurveda, bleeding means that you have too much excess of the fire element, too much of the pitta dosha, so you need to calm that down, calm that fire, so you stop bleeding basically. So I've stopped eating spicy food, I've replaced mustard seeds buy cumin in all my Indian curries. I'm also doing some pranayam, some breathing exercises, and I try to also go out, like just breathe some fresh air, even though it's like 10 minutes in my garden. I feel like I just drive to work and drive back, come home, and I'm just too tired to do anything else. So yeah, unfortunately I don't get too much fresh air, so that's why I just go out in the garden. Especially nowadays, it's so sunny and so hot, so you have really long days. And also drinking a lot of water, drinking as much as possible. I'm drinking rose water, which is my favorite right now, and coconut water, so that also kind of cools you down. The other thing I'm taking is a herb called Shatavari, which is like in Ayurveda a very soothing plant, and it calms down your excess fire. So yeah, it's also really good for women in general. So I've started taking that, and the last thing I would say is just willpower, if that makes any sense. I just told my mind told my body just to stop bleeding. Basically, one day before going to bed, I just repeated this in my mind, saying bleeding's not good. All the cells in my body, listen to me. I need you to stop bleeding. This is not good. This is not good for you. So I just kept repeating this, and I woke up the next day and I wasn't bleeding. So this may sound weird, but it has actually worked for me. This is probably the thing that has worked for me. Visualizing it and just like using my mind, because the mind has the capacity to manifest physically in your body. It's really powerful tool, so I think I'm gonna use it for preventing like high blood pressure later on in the pregnancy. So yeah, I forgot my midwife appointment. Basically, it all went well. She is the same midwife as my previous pregnancies, so that was really cool. And she said, "Oh, did the last pregnancy not scare you off?" I said, "No, clearly I'm back again." So that was funny. You kind of forget all the difficult moments you have in your pregnancy, and once you have the baby in your hands, you're just like, oh, this is pure happiness, until you get pregnant again, and then it's just like, oh, morning sickness, fatigue, nausea, vomiting, and then this spotting. Oh my god, what did I get into? It felt like that. But anyway, things are progressing in the positive way, and I feel sometimes pregnancy can be a very scary and lonely experience, especially if you're going through it for the first time. So I thought this is like the reason that pushed me into creating this or vlogging this pregnancies, because I wish I had someone who told me all this. Even if you have like family around, they might not have gone through the same thing or the same problems, or they might, it's so long ago that they might not remember half of it. So, and especially like at the beginning, like early pregnancy, when you're just like 6-7 weeks, you can't really share it with anybody. You just have to keep it secret. So for now, we haven't told anybody except parents. So yeah, so that's the reason for my vlogging. I hope you found this video useful. and if you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so you can follow me in my pregnancy journey. Thanks for watching and see you in my next video. Bye.